How does a country that many people still overlook in global travel rankings quietly rank among Europe's heritage giants? Not Italy, not France, Poland. And here's the twist. Most people don't even realize just how many UNESCO World Heritage Sites are packed into this one country, or why they matter more today than ever before. Because this isn't just about beautiful places. It's about survival, reconstruction, memory, and a story that the world still doesn't fully understand. By the end of this video, that perception might completely change. Let's start with a simple question. If someone had to guess which countries dominate UNESCO World Heritage listings, what would come to mind? Italy, China, Spain. Poland rarely makes that list in casual conversation. But here's the reality. Poland has over 15 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and that number puts it ahead of many countries that receive far more attention. So why does it feel invisible? Part of the answer lies in perception. Poland isn't always marketed as a must-see global destination. It doesn't rely on the same tourism narratives as Western Europe. And yet, when looking closer, something surprising appears. The diversity, not just castles, not just old towns, entire ecosystems, industrial wonders, sites that changed world history, and some of the most emotionally powerful places on Earth. But to understand why Poland's UNESCO presence is so unique, something deeper needs to be explored. Because this isn't just about how many sites exist, it's about what they represent. There's one thing that sets Poland apart immediately: destruction, and more importantly, reconstruction. During World War II, cities across Poland were devastated. Entire cultural centers were reduced to rubble. In Warsaw, over 80% of the city was destroyed. Now here's where the story becomes extraordinary. Instead of leaving ruins as reminders, Poland rebuilt, brick by brick. Using paintings, photographs, and historical records, entire districts were reconstructed with astonishing accuracy. And this leads to one of the most unique recognitions in UNESCO history: Warsaw's Old Town. Not because it survived, but because it was rebuilt so faithfully that it became a global symbol of cultural resilience. Pause for a second and think about that. A reconstructed city recognized as World Heritage. That almost never happens. And it raises a deeper question. What does authentic really mean? Is it original material, or is it the preservation of identity? This idea of rebuilding not just structures, but meaning, runs through many of Poland's UNESCO sites, and it's one of the reasons they resonate far beyond architecture. Back in 1978, when UNESCO created its very first World Heritage List, something significant happened. Poland was there from the beginning. Krakow's Historic Centre became one of the first sites ever recognized. That alone says a lot, because it means Poland wasn't just included. It was foundational to the entire concept of global heritage preservation. But why Krakow? Because it represents continuity. Unlike many cities in the region, Krakow survived large-scale destruction during the war. Its medieval layout, architecture, and cultural significance remained intact. Walking through Krakow today isn't just sightseeing, it's stepping into a timeline that never fully broke. And that contrast between cities that survived and cities that were rebuilt adds another layer to Poland's story. It's not one narrative, it's multiple histories coexisting. And that's something viewers might not expect. Quick question: which matters more in preserving history, keeping original structures or rebuilding what was lost exactly as it was? There's no obvious answer, but it's worth thinking about. Drop a comment with that perspective. It reveals a lot about how heritage is viewed. Now shift focus completely from cities to forests, because one of Poland's most remarkable UNESCO sites isn't built by humans at all. It's ancient, the Białowieża Forest. one of the last primeval forests in Europe. This is what the continent looked like thousands of years ago, before modern civilization reshaped everything. And inside this forest lives something equally symbolic. The European bison, once nearly extinct, now protected. This forest has survived shifting borders, empires rising and falling, wars, political changes, and yet it still stands. There's something powerful about that. In a country where so much had to be rebuilt, this is a reminder of what never disappeared. A living connection to the past, not reconstructed, not restored, just preserved. And that contrast matters, because it shows two different ways history survives, through protection or through rebuilding. Now imagine descending underground, hundreds of meters below the surface, into a place carved entirely out of salt, the Wieliczka Salt Mine. At first it sounds industrial, functional, but inside it becomes something else entirely. Chambers, chapels, sculptures, all carved by miners over centuries. This wasn't designed as art, it became art through human effort, repetition, and time. And that's what makes it fascinating. Because it represents a different kind of heritage. Not royal, not religious in origin, but built by workers, by ordinary people doing extraordinary things over generations. And it raises another question. How often are everyday lives recognized as World Heritage? Not often, but here they are. Now comes the most difficult part of the story, because not all UNESCO sites exist to inspire awe. Some exist to ensure something is never forgotten. Auschwitz-Birkenau. This is not a place of tourism in the traditional sense. It's a place of memory, a preserved reminder of one of the darkest chapters in human history. And its inclusion on the UNESCO list is intentional, because heritage isn't just about celebrating achievements. It's also about confronting reality, about preserving truth. Standing there isn't about architecture. It's about understanding scale, about recognizing consequences, and about making sure that memory doesn't fade. This is one of the reasons Poland's UNESCO sites feel different. They don't just show what humanity created. They show what humanity is capable of, both good and devastating. And that duality gives these sites a depth that goes beyond visuals. So why does all of this matter right now? Because the way history is preserved is changing. Modern cities are constantly evolving. Development replaces old structures. Memory competes with progress. And in that context, Poland offers something important, a model of balance. Rebuild when necessary, preserve when possible, remember always. These UNESCO sites aren't just locations, they're decisions, choices made across generations about what deserves to last. And that's something that affects more than tourism. It shapes identity, cultural continuity, and how future generations understand the past. So the next time someone overlooks Poland in conversations about global heritage, there is a different perspective to consider. A country that didn't just preserve history, but fought to restore it. A country where forests outlasted empires, where cities rose again from ruins, where underground spaces became art, and where memory is treated as something that must never disappear. If this changed the way Poland is seen, even slightly, that's worth something. And if there's one UNESCO site in Poland that stands out the most, drop it in the comments. Curious to see which ones people connect with the most. For more stories that reveal what's often overlooked, consider subscribing, because sometimes the most important places are the ones people don't notice at first.